Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to what is this, episode 10 here on saving Uncle Pete on Oak Bridge Farm map. I picked this back up in the month of the first day of March. If you remember the last time we were together, I had spent a bunch of money and we had basically cut some fields. So now's the time to put the lime in. So I've already got lime in the one over by the main yard. I just need to get these fields over here done now. I brought back all of the lime from the store on a trailer with the Landini, so we'll probably need that in a second here. Oh my god, we're burning through lime like crazy here. I'm gonna need to refill here soon. So this field is just soaking it up. But yeah, it should be a big episode here as we get hopefully all the stuff done that we need in regards to the oat fields. We want to put in oats and get it growing, because I think really beyond that, at least until harvest, we'll be perhaps we'll be mowing some more grass and getting some more bales. We have a lot of bales to sell. Ideally, in a perfect world, today's episode would include getting the lime in the fields. Then we want to get the seeds put in. Then we want to get one field. It was like I suspected. Actually, I'll show you in a second here. But like I suspected, this field here that was freshly mowed, and then I cultivated it, put the field in. It needs 2 rounds of fertilization. Where the field down here, back at the main yard that we cut, it was basically full-grown grass that we mowed or cultivated and didn't mow, and that actually only needs one round of fertilization. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I guess that's so something I'll have to figure out going forward. Like, I guess you would consider grass to be like a cover crop, I guess, similar to like a rapeseed or something where you can plant it in the winter, and then when you cultivate it in the fall, it qualifies as a fertilization, I guess. Come on. Did not do a good enough job smoothing this area out. The worst part is I kind of want to turn around and go back out that gate at the top of the hill, but you know what, maybe I think we can make the corner down here. Oh wow, I left the gate open. Either I left the gate open or somebody broke in. Yeah, I've been pretty good to keep this shut, so I think that's what I want to do. Anyways, I had contemplated starting this episode in the next month or the next day, anyways. But I figured, well, you know what? There's still lots of daylight. We can definitely get the lime done. Then maybe we go to sleep at that point, and we can get all the rest of the work done tomorrow. So I have a roller. I have what I don't have is a method to put down a second thing of fertilizer. We have the spreader that we're currently using for the lime, which we can empty the lime out of it, whatever's left over, and put in the fertilizer to spread that. But I don't have another form of fertilizer, which would typically be like a slurry or like manure. So we'll have to look into that. But yeah, if we can get everything planted, get everything fertilized, and get everything rolled, then that would be a pretty good day. At the end of good episode, anyways, and at the end of the episode, if we can also get a bunch of silage bales sold, then I think it will be pretty satisfying. All right, there we go. So I don't really know how much we have left on the trailer for lime. It would be easy to figure out. I guess we just have to just hop into the Landini, and that'll tell us. Today is Friday the 21st, I believe, that I'm recording this. So the episode 9, I believe, was what went uploaded today, and some comments on it. One comment in particular about how likely cutting any of these trees down may result in a bit of backlash from some of the sort of highfalutin neighbors in this little community that may have ownership over some of these trees, at least some type of perceived or believed ownership anyways. So yeah, I guess in reality, I probably didn't consider that cutting any of these trees down was a good idea. It was probably more of just a momentary lapse as I was looking for possible things that we could do. But yeah, I don't think I'll be cutting any of these trees down. I don't know that we'll be long enough to cut these trees down, to be honest with you. So there was a whoa, why is that picking up fertilizer? Shoot, I was too close to the fertilizer, so it grabbed the fertilizer. Let's just dump this. Yeah, on Mod Hub today there was a really nice Polish map that released or launched or went public or whatever you would say. And so I had a nice drive around that. I think it was. I am not even gonna. I'll put the name on the screen. I can't remember the name of it, to be honest. It was a little difficult for me to pronounce, anyways. But I understand it was a map from FS22, according to the description, anyways, that has been brought over to FS25. And holy, what a good-looking map this is. I mean, I could see us heading to Poland after England or the UK, anyways. How far a drive would it be from the Comsden area to Poland, I wonder? I'll have to look that up. Definitely going to miss the odd little corner here, but that's okay. We're getting pretty decent coverage. Oh man, look, we've got to fill up again. So I bought 12,000 liters of lime and I think I don't know if I used, there's a 500 liter bag back at the other yard that I think I used. I want to say that I used it. So it could be that in the end we had 12,500 liters available to us. So we'll see. We'll see what we have left after this. I can't imagine it's going to be much. All right, let's refill and then we'll go hit that other field there. And then we're done with the lime, which will be good. We'll probably keep, I guess there's no reason why we couldn't keep the bags over here. And we'll see how much I get to record this weekend. I had a whole bunch of projects this week, which has really made it hard for me to do anything else really, but other than just kind of work. But it's a good racing weekend if you're into F1 and any kind of dirt bike racing. I think there's a MXGP, which is the European motocross series. They're in France, I believe, and then there's Birmingham, Alabama is the American Supercross series, which is going to be fantastic. And then and there's an F1 race in China this weekend, which I don't know if you follow F1 at all, but old Lewis Hamilton there in his first season with Ferrari ended up getting a pole for the sprint race this weekend, which is super cool. So anyways, just having been a fan of Formula One for a long time and almost sort of petering off the last couple of seasons anyways, as Max Verstappen just kind of ruled everything. I like to see I'd love to see Hamilton do well and perhaps even maybe secure an 8th title. I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch, but well, it would be pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of racing action. As we can start to see grass here, we have some motocross tracks in southern Ontario already opening, so it's time to start thinking about how we can get ourselves out on the track. I just hope this is not the year that I don't. I hope this isn't the year that I break something. But yeah, it should be fun. Watching any of the riding footage of people we know down at some of the tracks that have already started to open, it looks pretty rough so far. But everything, the ground is still pretty cold, so the tracks are not soft whatsoever. Would love to live in a eternally warm type climate. My youngest has a plan that if for some reason Canada becomes the 51st state, we're moving to Australia because he wants to be able to ride his dirt bike all year. All right, so here's our fields. Oat field down here, number 19, so it no longer needs lime. 38 no longer needs lime, and 39 no longer needs lime. Those are the 3 fields that we just did. This field 39 here was already was grass when we cultivated it, so it's fine. Actually, I guess we can put fertilizer down in all 3 of the fields and then plant it afterwards. Oh, I don't want lime. I want fertilizer. Yeah, so I guess maybe what we'll do right now is we'll just kind of blast through and get these fields fertilized. The 2 of them will be at the second stage already, and one I just have to figure out what to do with it. But we'll do that, and then we'll head back to the trailer and get a good night's sleep. So now let's see how fast we go through this fertilizer. I don't think it'll go as quickly. Yeah, it's not going nearly as quickly as the lime did. That lime consumption was insane. $4:45. It's still light out. I like this. I like this way better than in the wintertime. It just got so dark. It's kind of nice, like if you're literally just playing a game, so it's kind of nice if in the game you can have decent weather and brightness. All right, last pass and a half here, and we're done this field. What are we down to? 1,300 liters. Yeah, this is so much better than the lime. All right, well, let's go get this last field there, and then I think it'll be dark enough that we can probably call it a day. We'll take a nap, aka go to sleep for the night, and then we'll be back at her again tomorrow for planting, or to get the seeder out, and then rolling, and somehow try to figure out how to get a second thing of fertilizer down in that big field over there. But I think the only way I can see us doing that is if we get ourselves a manure spreader. I think. I mean, I should be able to buy the manure at the animal depot or whatever, the cattle yard sell point. Maybe at the same time we can get some chickens. Not really ready for the chickens yet, and I'd have to buy their food, I guess. I remember there was a bag of wheat available at one point. I think they even just called it chicken food. I probably should have bought that, but I honestly hadn't considered that we'd be getting into the chicken business, or at least getting Uncle Pete into the chicken business. Well, that reminds me, there was another comment on episode 9 regarding the land purchases, and how those land purchases are really a result of sort of my hard work meaning like me in the game, obviously, but yeah, I just this is all a volunteer service to assist my uncle and his farm while I'm away, is really what it is. So I've been very clear with all of the people in the community that this is not my farm. I don't pretend that it is. At some point here, my uncle, I'm gonna bring the spreader back to the other yard. At some point, my uncle's coming back. Well, hopefully, we'll see. But at some point, when he does come back, he'll want to have a farm to come back to, and what do we got for fertilizer? Oh, 1,800. So we used like over 2,000 liters of lime. But yeah, I mean, the promise and commitment to my mother was that I would, make sure that her brother had a successful-ish farm to come back to when he came back from wherever it is he is. So that's yeah. So I have no intention of pretending that any of this is, quote unquote mine, and that we're gonna get to keep any of this when he comes back. But you never know. Who knows? Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. All right, let's stop fooling around here and get this stuff put away. I think if I leave this close to these poles here, then I can just pull up and fill up when I need to. All right, well, I'm going to get this stuff put away, and then I'm going to see you guys in the morning. It will be after I have my morning cup of coffee, and we will see what is potentially on tap. In addition to getting the seeds in the ground and figuring out, well, seeds roller. Oh my God, more mud. What am I doing? Every time I try to stack this, I find more mud. Anyways, yeah. Okay, let me get this done and then I'll see you in the morning. All right, we got a bit of an early start here. Welcome to the second day of March. I'm just going to get this sprayed off quickly here so we can at least start the day clean. I don't think it'll take very long for us to get dirty though. Okay, we're going to back up and grab this seeder. And I guess we'll start over here. When I got back over here last night before I put the spreader away, I did end up putting fertilizer in this field here. So that's done. But yeah, now maybe we'll do this field first. Do I have seed in it? Yeah, I do. I have seeds and it's set up for oats and everything's good. So okay, let's just make sure we're planting what I hope we're planting. There we go, oats. Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to be the fastest process because we're not exactly flying up these hills, but yeah, it should be good by the end of the day. We should be rocking here anyways. Jesus, cedar sounds like it's hating life. If we could just plant downhill each direction, then we'd be laughing. Look at this beautiful morning here. I was mentioned that Polish map earlier. That's kind of there's just a bit of an indicator of how torn I am on what to do when Uncle Pete comes back. On one hand, I'd love to just continue playing on this map, but on another hand, I just really, after seeing like a new map and kind of playing around a little bit, it's yeah, I don't know. It's one of the nice things about this this game that we have here. You can literally go and play all these different maps. There's so many great creators. So I don't want to just be stuck, I don't think, but it's hard to consider being able to play on this map as being stuck. This map is fantastic. We'll see how we feel after crops grow. That always really kind of cements you in a place. All right, that's one field seeded and done. So we can move over to the next field. Well, we'll have to come back through here with the roller, obviously. But yeah, that was kind of tricky there with the hill. It'd be nice to see that when the plants seeds start to germinate, or however you would say that in technical terms. It'd be nice to see some action in the field. The full disclosure, this is continued the following in real life day. I was recording the first part of this episode. It was kind of late at night, so I had to kind of call it quits and do a couple other things before ending the day. And now we're rolled into, I think I mentioned that was the Friday, I think the 21st, and now we're on Saturday here. We'll see how long this takes to record. Maybe we'll get the entire Chinese Grand Prix for F1 in, because since reporting that Lewis Hamilton took pole for the sprint race, he went ahead and won the sprint race, which was pretty cool. And unfortunately, though, in qualifying for the main race, what did he end up, like 4th or 6th or something like that? So it looks like they lost a little bit of pace after the sprint race, but there's always some kind of weird reason. Crazy thing about that type of racing is first through 10th could be separated by 300ths of a second. So it's crazy. So even when you perhaps come in 5th or 6th place, you're literally it's the difference of a bit of wheel spin in a corner, which is ridiculous. But all right. So also, being that we've had a bit of time between starting this episode and now continuing it, I did have more of a good look at the Polish map that came out. I don't know. Again, I'll put it on the screen. But it's funny. This is the frustration with farming simulator, and I don't know whether it's just PC specific or whether you get mod conflicts and issues on console as well. But I was running some, just driving around the map, running some tests, just checking some stuff out, and immediately realized that sort of one of the strategies I'd wanted to have if playing the map, there was a certain type of crop that I wanted to focus on, and so I kind of tried to go sell it and see how that works and everything, and couldn't, which was like, okay, great, now what are we dealing with? Well, after interacting on a video that had been posted about the map, and then also digging around a little bit, turns out after turning off realistic weather seemed to be the fix. Wasn't allowing me to dump into any of the sell points, and then this morning I see an update show up on Mod Hub for realistic weather, and it said I guess for whatever reason the previous update had disabled overloading, which I guess is the term for being able to dump into sell points, right? Yeah, so it's always something. I mean, if you just want to play a straight up vanilla game like unmodded, then yeah, you really never have any issues, right? But the second you want to go and enhance your gameplay with realism, so it's the realism mods, the coding mods, I think, that cause a lot of the problems or challenges or whatever. But because if they're a little bit off, it can be very difficult to figure out what's going on. But they're definitely, when you're having issues, they're definitely the first place to go and look. And then it's just a matter of trying. It's a little tedious. Thankfully, somebody pointed me in the right direction, which is why I went and I turned off that realistic weather mod to discover that was the problem. But, it requires a lot of troubleshooting, like installing, uninstalling, testing, and back and forth until you can figure out what's going on. I think the other interesting thing looking at this other map was I discovered a couple, I guess, Polish language creators that look like they're making interesting content. Actually, one of them is seemingly one of the map makers, I guess, or was involved in the map making, credited anyways, or perhaps is just the channel that posted the teaser, which I put on my Discord under, I think it was under either a mod or the FS General chat, but. Yeah, the teaser was really good, and it was uploaded to somebody's site. So I don't know whether they had anything to do with making the map or not. But yeah, I just kind of watched a little bit of their content, and while I don't understand a single word of it, it seemed pretty interactive. They were using the NPCs for role playing and conversations and stuff. So yeah, I like that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. So I'm not using the guided steering right now. I'm trying to just go by the textures on the ground. So at the end of planting this field, I think it would be smart for me to go and check the map just to make sure that I actually have full coverage here, because I have this feeling that I'm missing pieces. You're getting a bit of a texture change, but not much of a texture change. So I'm recording this somewhat on. I would call this somewhat Saturday morning. I think we're mid-morning now. I've been just working on some stuff this morning first, but then I think it's a good day. It looks like a relatively clear-ish sort of day here where I live, so it could mean a good time to pull the bike out of storage and see what we need to. I know there's a little bit of rebuilding that's going to have to get done here before the season starts, so maybe a good time to fire it up and see what's going on so we can get things rolling there. I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not we throw the bike up for sale here. It's a good time to sell anyways, a lot of activity, and invest in something new, or whether I just continue to realize that my motocross career amounts to me just following my youngest around the track at times and just goofing around with the old guys. Or whether I want to get something, whether I want to up my track presence and get some new get a new bike. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's what spring's all about, right? The other thing that I'm looking forward to is I I think I even posted something on here, put a picture on it in one of the videos in the past. Likely it was on FS22 content, but I had this is like late fall, early winter, I guess, had gone and done some work on a farm, and was lucky enough to strike a deal with the farmer on a motorcycle, a road bike that I found in one of his barns. This gentleman was sort of in his 80s or 90s and had bought a bike about 10 years ago off somebody, a used bike. It was a 1978 Honda. It was a CB550K, I believe is the correct model name. Yeah, I mean, anyways, managed to get it home, get it started. Definitely needs some carb work, and probably got to do some work with the fuel tank and some of the wiring and that, and new tires and brakes, and kind of freshen the whole thing up, and we should have a nicely functioning road bike. Never had a road bike before. Never had a desire to until getting on a motocross bike, to be honest with you. Yeah, I kind of want to get hammering away. It's been at my mother and stepfather's house, and he's been farting around with the carbs over the winter, and I think it's time to go spend a few days down there and hammer out the rest of the project so we can get this thing on the road. I can only imagine what it would be like to strap my camera bag to my back in the summertime and hit some of the I do a lot of work in like waterfront properties and farms out in the country, and that not necessarily in the city. I would never I don't think I would ever venture into the city on a motorcycle. With the stuff I see on the road and the bad drivers, I'd just get crushed immediately, I think. So I would definitely take it out in the country though. So those 30 degrees Celsius warm breeze kind of days, riding out in the country would be really cool. All right, I guess according to this, we have full coverage. A couple little spots around the corner, but it looks like I got the whole middle piece. We're well fertilized. I did miss, I remember seeing a strip along the edge there I did miss. Needs rolling for sure. Well, I guess that's the other thing that I don't have. I don't have a way to spray for weeds. I forgot about that. I want to do that before I roll. Maybe what I'll do is I'll set this up on a worker, and then maybe I'll go figure out something to do with spraying. So basically the only thing I need to do after I plant the seeds, and I apologize if I keep repeating this, but it helps me remember. Basically, this field here needs an extra dose of fertilizer. I might actually, I mean, if this is the only field that I'd be investing in, like, say, right, my face right in the exhaust. If this is the only field that I'd be investing in an additional, like in a manure spreader, for example, because I don't really have a need for it otherwise, I think what I might do is wait. I think somebody had mentioned to me, and I guess I don't know why I never even really thought about this before, but I think if I want in the same growth stage, is that right? If I want to fully fertilize, like two things of fertilizer, then I could either use like manure and double application, or I think also slurry double application, or I would use like solid fertilizer and then manure. I could do that in the same growth stage. Otherwise, I would use I can wait a growth stage and then come back at it with solid fertilizer. So I think we might just do that. We might leave today with this field 50% fertilized, and then see about that. Okay, ma'am, you have done great work for us so far. So let's keep this going. All right, let's go take the Landini over to the store and see what's going on. I have this funny feeling that I've bought something too over there, and I can't remember what it is. So we'll find out here soon enough. And I guess I'm really kind of susceptible to whatever's in the store, because I mean, if I can find something used, that'd be great, but I need something regardless, because I do want to get these fields done, and that is sort of the last thing that would be standing in my way, is not having that that herbicide option. I saw, so in mentioning this, I gotta dig a little bit. So mentioning that channel that I found that was Polish speaking, in whatever the latest episode they had posted, I gotta figure out where this stuff's coming from. They had an amazing, was it an Ursus? A really old tractor, just awesome. When he started up, it sounded amazing. It's right on my alley, perfect. But then also backed into a shed of which had a sprayer that was quite reminiscent of one that I'd used on. If you watched the Hinterland series that I posted in FS22, there was a great sprayer that was sort of just a kind of a rustic tank with sort of rusty framework, and then these arms that would come out that really looked very much like, made custom on the farm. And that's exactly what I could use here or would want, because I don't really want anything big. But anyways, we'll take what we can get. But yeah, I gotta do a little digging and see where they might have found some of this stuff. All right, let's have a quick peek through the store here, because I don't ever remember. Maybe we did, but I don't remember specifically looking for a sprayer. So there's a sprayer that's a little bit overpowered for us, unless we're going to be doing some of the big contracts too. When you're looking for something specific, you don't necessarily notice everything else. I know there's been times where I've been scrolling through here and you guys have said, hey, did you see the whatever? Where meanwhile I didn't, but I did look at this at one point. We have a front wrapper, but I was thinking that if we could wrap twice as fast if we had a front and rear wrapper. But anyways, it's not priority for us right now. The problem is I always end up with this. I also don't see that we have many options. We really don't have that many options. I don't really want one of these big trailers with a massive working width. I don't even necessarily want a 24 meter working width, but you know what? I guess let's just let's spend $35,000 and get ourselves a sprayer. You know what's going to happen? On Monday morning, there'll be a mod release, and there'll be like 3 small sprayers available, and then I'll regret this. I mean, $35,000. It'll leave us with about 60 grand still. Plus, we'll have the silage that we can sell. Do I have a front attacher? I do not. Okay, well, let's see if I'm gonna tip here. Oh, I was right. I did buy something. I bought. I ended up buying that chicken feed. I knew that there was something sitting here. I mean, worst case is if I'm doing wheelies, I can always carry the chicken feed. Yeah, so I mean, we can put 1,200 liters into this this rear unit here. So maybe what we'll do is we'll not buy the front unit. I mean, the front unit is only $5,000, so it's not a big deal. But if we can get away without buying it, I guess we probably should. Let me get the herbicide. All right, so that's $2,400 for 2,000 liters. So I think we're going to leave the chicken feed here, and we're going to bring this pallet back with us, or this IBC or whatever it's called. This ICBM. Wrong game. All right, we'll get this back to our first yard there, and we'll get spraying, and then we'll go meet up with our worker. I was going to leave this just over here on David's yard while we this pallet, but maybe we'll just leave it up here for now. It might be a little bit too intrusive, because we'll take it with us over to the other yard. Oh yeah, the steering's a little light. We may have to carry that. We may have to carry that pallet with us after all. I guess it's not a pallet, right? The container. Oh my gosh, look at how wide this is. Yeah, see, this is definitely not needed here, but I don't have a smaller option, so this is what it is. Maybe there's a mod somewhere off Mod Hub that I'm just not finding or haven't seen or whatever. I'm assuming there is, because I've seen, like I mentioned, the channel that I found earlier using. Oh, okay, so you can't even see. Can't even see the. There's no lines. Or there's no texture change here, so I thought I'd at least see a color change. I might regret not using the steering assist. Well, the bonus is that the field, the coverage, it almost gets the entire field, or half the field in one pass. So basically, if I just run 3 passes, I should be good. All right, we'll do a little overlapping here. Maybe there's a bit of a difference. Yeah, okay, it looks like maybe where we're spraying is a little bit darker. But it's really not much. Just make sure not to get too much of it into the waterways there. We want to poison the least amount of wildlife as possible, I guess. That's the goal. My guess is the council or whoever would be inspecting, the fact that we always have standing water down there on the path, I don't think the council will be too happy about that, because that standing water would obviously then eventually seep into the ground or drain into that waterway there. So anything that's getting into the gravel, i.e. herbicide, would be going right into the waterway. But perhaps this is like an organic herbicide made from like fermented goat's milk and I don't know, farmer's tears. That's enough to kill off any of the weeds. It's harvested during the extreme weather events and crop destruction. That's where you get the tears from. Oh, dog. Okay, I missed it. It's still alive. We're just about to create some farmer's tears. I see our worker's still plugging away. At least the nice thing about the worker is the chances of them missing anything is pretty slim compared to me doing it. I'm going to just put this ICBM in here. Just tuck it next to this other water tank or whatever this tank is. So this field over here is probably going to take, what, one pass? Two passes, maybe? Like, I think this might almost be too wide to fit into this one section here. Oh, close. Keep it off the fence. That's always a good plan. I guess the only way we'll know if we missed anything is when we get into the sort of the first growth stage, I guess, or second growth stage or whatever, and we start to see weeds pop up. All right, perfect. So I guess what I'll do, the roller's here. I think I'm gonna have to use the New Holland for the roller. I don't think I'll be using the Landini for that. So let's let the worker get done in the field there, and then once they're done, I can get this thing spraying, and then we'll go get the, like I said, we'll go get the New Holland on the roller. Actually, I figured while I'm sitting around waiting for the worker, I at least should make myself useful. There's a trailer over back at that other yard there. Maybe I can at least load some silage bales onto it, so that way when we do have some time later, we can at least try to get some of that silage sold. It's one thing to get it mowed and baled and wrapped and you let it ferment, but then you gotta actually go and sell it at some point too. Oh, we got the big trailer loaded over here. I could try to take that to the sell point, but there's no way. There's no way I'm getting that trailer all the way to the garden center. 700 liters of water. Okay. All right, you guys are still good. Don't worry. So I think I left the bale spike here. Let's just look. Can I even move this trailer? I don't think I can even move this trailer. Nope. Definitely being a lot more cautious driving around when I've got these spikes sticking out the front. That dog jumped out in front of me again and I almost skewered it. The last thing we need is golden retriever kebabs. Oh, and kudos to the subscribers / Discord members. One in particular was good enough to... I think somebody had actually... my apologies if it was actually the same person, but I think somebody had actually offered a corrected version of that trailer way back. And anyway, so I've just secured a corrected version of it. So we now have the tongue jack there repaired so we can actually, the trailer will sit instead of just sinking into the ground. Community for the win one more time. Love it. I don't know why I do this every time. I always bite off more than I can chew and then end up going back to one. Actually, that says 62% fermented. So wait a minute, these aren't even... I mean, I guess they can ferment on the trailer. That's fine. So it's probably... I don't think we'll be selling these ones right away, but at least they'll be loaded. So I don't have really anything else I need the trailer for. If we were going to do a like a deadwood contract or something, then I might need it, but that's okay. I guess we'll just not worry about that, because I'm thinking what's going to end up happening here is we're going to end up finishing this episode, having the fields put in, and then likely we may have sort of one contract / mowing episode before really it's time to harvest the oats. Oh god, come on, just get off my thing here. That fix for that trailer is really clutch, because it's such a nice trailer. It's way more maneuverable than the other trailer that we bought. I can only imagine there's probably like 4 of the sort of elderly retired people that live in these buildings over here just watching me out the window right now. It's like the only action they get to see out the window before they go back to watching reruns of Coronation Street. It's funny that show. I never was really a Coronation Street watcher. I mean, I had a girlfriend when I was younger, and her parents were British, and her mom loved the show, so it was on every once in a while when I was over, and really all it made me want to do is just go for a beer. It seems like all they ever do is sat in the pub. But yeah, I never really got into it. I know it has had a huge following over many years, but I think those shows are always so interesting. I remember as a kid coming home on my lunch breaks from school, and my mom would be watching The Young and the Restless, American soap operas, and so you'd sit there and I'd be eating my grilled cheese and tomato soup or whatever I had, and she'd have that on. I seem to remember it was on either right before or right after the Flintstones, so then I always got a chance to watch the Flintstones and then back to school. I believe that was the flow. This is good. I'm glad we're doing this, because I was literally just going to sit there and watch the worker go around in circles till the field was seeded. But now we're kind of making better use of the time. And it looks like the worker's almost done there anyways. They certainly aren't cheap. It looks like I just paid $600 for that last hour, but actually when you think about it, compared to what we get paid to do contracts, they are pretty inexpensive. Because if I had to pay, $14,000 to have a field seeded, I would never actually use a worker. But then you think about how much money we make when we do contracts, it's kind of funny. Thankfully there's no correlation there. Okay, so we probably can fit a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a fifth. So yeah, if we can jam that, if we can get these all jammed on there, then I think we can make them fit. Anyways, might not be the most comfortable situation, but I think it'll work. What I'm curious to hear, and actually maybe we'll make this a poll. I doubt we will, but perhaps. So in the replacement for this series, what's more desirable? I wonder, like an American map, like a Monteith, or perhaps even. I mean, I imagine this week we'll probably see Alma, Missouri come out, or stick to a European style map, like a Polish map, like the one that I've put on the screen a couple times, because I can't say the name. I wonder what in the end is going to be better received from y'all. Not that I choose based on what I think is going to be viewed more. I probably just choose whichever one I'm going to have more fun on, but I think I can probably have fun on either one. That Polish map, what the hell? It's like the collision just vanished on that and it fell right through the bale spike. The Polish map has so much on it. There's at one point you drive, or you go to a sell point, and there's a couple guys dressed like construction workers. Oh, I can see the tractor over there having a bit of an issue. There's two construction workers standing around a pit, and there's some like piping and stuff in the hole. So it's like they're discussing how they're going to fix this, issue with whatever the pipes are. I gotta go fix this. There's another spot where you go and, sorry, just making sure this is actually planting. There's another spot where you have workers that look like they're fixing like one of the power poles. So they're all kind of standing around, and there's one guy up on a pole doing some kind of work, which is so super cool. Like it's very interactive that way. Well, not that you can interact with them, but it's good for the story, I guess. And yeah, lots of detail and everything, versus a map like Monteith that really doesn't have anything going on except for the creepy NPCs that are all lined up at the store. If you remember that. I think if I was going to play that map, I would be inclined to figure out how to go onto Giants Editor and eliminate those guys. If you can. I don't even know if it's something you can do. But they don't really serve any purpose, I don't think, other than just laughing every time you hit the store. But yeah, I wonder what the general population of subscribers here likes better in a map. If we end up on the Polish map, I can guarantee that I'll be looking to utilize my real estate strategy, I guess. I don't know what where I was talking about how monthly a randomized selection of properties would come up for sale, and you'd have to decide whether or not you wanted them to be part of your farm or not, and then at that point you could you had the opportunity to purchase these fields, so making it somewhat more like real life, where not all property is for sale all the time. Okay, is this where they started? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, let me just do a quick little peek around here. See if anything was missed. I think this field's gonna be fun to harvest. Just that it's like in town here. I think we did get this, but the texture just looks different. Oh, maybe not. Now the texture looks the same as everything else. What's with this right here? Alright, so we don't have any big patches that look like they're missed. So that's good news. I would say that we now have seeds in all the fields. Alright, so this one's definitely going to stay over here. I'll end up having to do a little bit of rearranging here at some point, I think. I'll put it in front of the baler, and then we'll see. We'll see. It's not hard to move this stuff around, so although I'm making it look pretty difficult right now, just trying to back it up. But yeah, it's pretty easy to just kind of jockey these things around if needed. Okay, so like I said, that is going to... okay, yeah, so this field we just need to spray, so we might as well just throw this on here and spray this quickly. I'm going to try to keep this as organized as I possibly can without using the steering assist. Plus, I imagine I want to get this done as fast as possible before some of the people who live around here take issue with the fact that I'm spraying, chemicals. If indeed this is not made of fermented goat's milk and farmer's tears, then there could be some harmful chemicals in here that these people might not be happy about. I guess it's possible they wouldn't be happy about me using farmer's tears either, because it's sort of exploiting the farmers. So once this is sprayed, I guess that will be all of the herbicide needed for what we've got going on. And then, then it's just rolling. And then we're, in the next month or whatever, we can figure out if we can put down some more solid fertilizer here before we can't drive in the crops anymore, or drive in the field without risk of damaging the crops. And then, we're good. I think we're sitting at about half of that, of what we had for... Oh, shoot, I'm stuck on the fence. Ugh. I believe we've consumed about half the herbicide so far that we started with. So that should be no issue getting around this field. If I can get into the field. What the hell? Come on. You can do it. All right, I'm kind of trying to use the tire tracks of the previous pass as a bit of a guide here to at least give me some hint as to where I should be. This is going to be overlap for sure, but anyways, I'd rather put down a little extra than miss a whole piece. We did that on New Frontier. I missed a whole section in the oat field over there. Oh, dude, am I doing oats over there too? I guess I am. But I missed a section of oats spraying in one of the oat fields, and then it ended up showing up. The weeds ended up showing up. Yeah, I guess I didn't even realize that. I am doing oats over there. I mean, I don't love oats so much that I want to do them on every map, but it just sort of happened. Oh, we may get through the full load. If I don't destroy the sprayer arms there first by scraping them across the wall. One more little bit just for good measure, and I think we're done here with the spraying. And then that'll be enough of that. One more shot to the wall. Yeah, I probably don't need to come through this section here, but I guess we're getting full coverage anyways. All right, let's get this thing wrapped up and put away. I'm gonna see. I should be able to kill that container over there if I go and refill this. We're only ever going to put herbicide in this, so it's not like I'm going to use liquid lime or something. Yeah, perfect. Oh yeah, we're definitely stacking things in here. But anyways, I don't really know what else to do. Is that what you would do in real life if you had all this equipment? All right, so in regards to this roller, I don't think I can use the Landini, can I? Needs 110 horsepower. Yeah, that'd be silly trying to do that. So we'll get the New Holland on it. I think what we'll do is we'll get a worker on this first field with the roller, and then we'll probably do the rest of them. But at least it lets me get the rest of those bales on there, and I can get a couple more things done while we're waiting. All right, another one of the neighborhood ladies hooking us up here. Thank you, ma'am. So I haven't used this roller yet, so I'm assuming this is the correct roller for the job, but we'll let her get started here and then we'll check the map just to make sure. All right, so she's done her first pass and we can see that indeed that is registering in the field, so we're good. Yeah, so much action. I imagine these neighbors, like if they're not used to a lot of action over here, other than maybe Walter, out riding his horse or whatever, all this activity in this field right now must be pissing some of them off. All right, let's see if we can get this to fall off the back. Oh, perfect. Wow, and room for one more if we needed. Two more, actually. We could move that one over, but actually I wouldn't push it. I'd probably just leave it there. Wow, that worked out well. Okay, so let me see if I can use this to just move the trailer so it's not quite in the way. Just so these bales can ferment in peace. Okay, perfect. So I think what I'm going to do now is we'll go grab that. Oh God, do I really want to do these things yet? Let's go grab the chicken feed, I guess, that we have down at the store. I mean, I'm sure we can use our little trailer to pick up chickens. We might as well get those rolling. No pun intended there. Obviously, we've got a roller in the field right now. But yeah, okay, let's head down to the store. We'll get that. We'll figure out where we put that food, and then we'll see what we can do about chickens. All right, let's see if we can figure out where this feed goes. I want to say this was... No, it had to be 1,000 liters. I think it's a 1,000-liter bag. I was going to say I think maybe it was 500 liters, but no, I think it's a 1,000-liter bag. So my guess is we drive in there. Oh, jeez. This is a good test to see what kind of room we've left ourselves for being able to work in this chicken coop. But yeah, it looks like we can probably get around without running over any crops as they start growing. Be nice to have like maybe something smaller, like a UTV or something. Is that what they're called? Like a side-by-side or whatever? Alright, so, oh my God, the mud in here. Oh no. Alright, so we're dead. We are dead. Where does this go? Oh no. Please take this food. Oh my God, why didn't I see that coming? Alright, we're gonna drive around in circles here for a second, and if I can't figure it out, I'm gonna turn on the icons. Okay, so it looks like it's right in the middle. We must have gone right past it. Ugh. I don't know how we're not axle deep right now. Okay, now let's see if we can get out of here. That is crazy. Oh my God. Hopefully, actually I never even really noticed, but I think by the gate here is where the... I'm just going to leave that open for now. I think the gate right there is where the where you put the chickens in. So, wow, that was brutal. So I know we can use this tractor to go to the store. So let's just do that. Let me check the status of the worker here. I think they're almost done. Oh yeah, they are done. Okay, so let's get them moved over first. Or I guess not so much moved over, but let's just get into the next field. Yeah, that looks really nice. So we'll just worry about that fertilizer. Hopefully I'm not making a mistake by waiting. Like if in the second growth stage we have crop destruction, then I could be in trouble. I don't know that I have... I wonder if I can put skinnies on the Landini. But then... Oh yeah, I can use this. I can use the spreader, I guess, with the Landini. I don't know if this field's really worker friendly, but let's give it a shot. Man, it's all the ladies out today. How you doing, ma'am? All right, let's go get those. Let's go get some birds anyways. So actually that'll be pretty good. By the end of this day, we'll have our fields done, short of the fertilizer in that field, and then we'll have some chickens going. I don't know how many chickens I can put in our current trailer, but it's got to be more than, what do we had 2 sheep, I think, each time. So we got to be able to put at least 4 chickens, if not more. Who knows? Is that hail in the forecast? Shoot. Does hail just know when we put crops in? I think literally up until this point we've had nothing that could get destroyed by hail, right? Because we've just had map grass, and now we go to put some fields in, and it starts hailing, or whatever, it's calling for hail. Gotta get this roller out of the way, or this wrapper. On the topic of wrapping, I did get a phone call from Walter earlier when I was ripping back from the store, and he has a field, actually the field just on the other side of the shed up the hill there, that has some round bales in it that he needs wrapped. I don't know whether or not he may have already got someone to do it, I'm not sure, but he was looking for some help. Didn't have a lot of budget for it, but not that that would stop me from helping him. It ain't all just about the money. Actually, we can drive up through here. Let's go take a... Well, I guess we won't see... Never mind. I was going to say let's go drive up here and we can check out the bales that he needs wrapped, but they don't actually show up until I accept the contract, I guess, so that's kind of dumb. So all we're really doing is cutting through Walter's field. Sorry, Walter. Oh, he also reminded me about the planter up in his shed covering area there, so I got to get that out of there now that I've ripped through his field. A field of which could be ours. He did say that if I ever wanted that field, I could buy it. I think it's like $70,000. If we bought it, we could take out those hedges at the bottom there, and then we'd have that grass field as well. But I don't honestly see us buying any more property before Pete gets back. I think we'll probably just live with what we have. Driving down here to the animal dealer really reminds me of our early days here on the map. What's this, episode 10? So a bunch of episodes ago. So I'm pretty sure I turned the zone markers off, or whatever, the interactive markers, but I see them there, which is interesting. Oh, I can't carry chickens in this. Yeah, look at that. It shows 1 cow, 4 pigs, or 2 sheep. Shoot, okay. I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to get some chickens over here. Be convenient if something showed up in the sale, but no, we have... Now, I'm gonna go through here quickly because I wasn't keeping an eye out for anything that would transport birds while we were in the shop earlier, but let's just check the website here and see if there's anything. It'd be funny if we could put them in the back of this. I'd buy that. So that's funny. In animal transport, just standard animal transport, there's absolutely nothing that transports birds. I swear, though, I've seen something... That one carries some sheep or pigs. Let me know in the comments if I'm bypassing something here. A bucket of chicken? Well, this ain't KFC, I guess, so no. All right, so now I'm just hoping I get lucky here. Yeah, okay, so I think what we'll end up doing is ordering... They're going to have to deliver the chickens because there's... I'm not seeing anything here, so let's just see. Let me pull off to the side here and I'll go have a chat. All right, well, I guess we're getting 1 rooster. So it's $5 plus $1 shipping. And, I guess we'll just get 29 chickens. All right, well, thank you. Not that I wanted to use any delivery methods, as you've seen, but with no way to transport chickens, I guess I don't really have a choice. All right, I got the trailer tucked away, and we'll just head up here and go see what our chickens... well, if that's provided they've dropped them off already. I think they likely have. They've already collected the money, so hopefully they've dropped off the goods, you know. Hail. Why is it going to hail? Probably our workers done too, so we can get them over to the next field. Okay, I really like this drive. I like this laneway. Good choice on the field. I guess I'm basically just congratulating myself. Okay, so no sense driving into the mud again. Ooh, hopefully they shut the gate if they did drop those off. Okay, just like I thought, this is not worker friendly, this field. So we'll finish that off, but let's get this gate shut here. Oh my god, guys. You guys good with the mud? Alright, so we have a 5,000 liter capacity for food in here, of which we have 1,000 liters, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I don't know where the eggs will spawn, but hopefully... This is so gross. I like how they've got this old rusty car to use as part of the fence here, too. Anyways, good luck with that, guys. I'm going to get this shut so you don't leave. Alright, so I guess it's me attacking the rest of the rolling here now. Yeah, so I'm going to do that, and then we're going to call this one quits right here, because basically this is the rest of this day is just basically going to be rolling this and rolling the other field, and then probably kicking back and relaxing. I can't see that I'm going to answer any of Walter's calls because it's been a busy planting here with getting these oats in the ground, and yeah, I think I've probably had enough. So again, I don't know whether the next episode is going to be prior to harvest or whether it's going to be harvesting, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know, but you'll know as soon as we upload. Anyways, it won't be too long, because obviously real time and game time are completely different. So other than that, I appreciate the support as usual, folks. It is now episode 10 here on our mini series here in what started out as Comsden and eventually became Oak Bridge. So I think we're nearing decision time on what the future will hold here in the area. But anyways, regardless of what happens, it's been a great time on the map, and we after some soul searching, we may just end up continuing on it, or we may be moving. But we'll see. Voice your opinions in the comments. Whatever. I know I can already guess what everybody's going to say. Just do what you want to do. That seems to be the gist of it, which I completely appreciate, because that's usually my suggestion when I see somebody asking their community what they'd like to see. That usually it comes down to, you know what, man, just do whatever makes you happy, because ultimately we're playing a game here, right? Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there, and I will see you again soon. Okay, guys, ciao.